Okay, so for my experiment, I did the Italian penne bake, and the role I wanted to test, or like the variable I wanted to test, was the egg's ability to be a bonding agent between proteins and between ingredients. Um, so what I hypothesized was that so there was 8 eggs that were required for this recipe, and I hypothesized that if you cut the number of eggs in half, so instead of 8, just doing 4, that the pasta wouldn't be as thick as creamy because it's almost like a casserole type. So of course you want it to be set kind of yeah, do you want it to be set in together? And I don't think I think my initial thinking was that if you cut the number of eggs in half, then it would be like a lot more runny, a lot more just loose as a pasta in general. Um, so so I mean, there was really only a two-step process to this. It was kind of like put all the ingredients in the bowl, stir those, mix those well, cook the pasta, and then kind of combine them in the dish and bake them. So that was pretty much the extent. And I'll make sure, of course, I'm going to include some. There's going to be some pictures there. And so, but what I found was after initially conducting it, is the pasta was actually a little bit harder than I thought it was. And so the one that was supposed to be kind of like my control, may not have been like exactly what it was supposed to be, but there was enough of a difference between that first attempt and that second attempt. So like I said, what I did was on the second attempt was I cut the number of eggs in half. So I did only 4 eggs. And what I found this time, and I don't have pictures of the final result just because you couldn't really tell the difference on top. It was more so below because like it's a pasta, so it's layered. So what I noticed was that the pasta was more runny. My hypothesis was correct. It was more runny, but like more so at the bottom, or not necessarily at the bottom, but not on the top. Just kind of on the inside of the pasta, if that makes sense. It was a lot more runny. It wasn't as thick and it wasn't as creamy as the original pasta was when the ingredients were cooked right. And so what I think what happened there was with the eggs, with the cooked eggs. So when you cook eggs, the heat causes denaturation of the proteins, and what happens is they'll usually desegregate. They'll bond with the albumin peptides, and then they'll reaggregate, and that's where you get like the bonding agent. So that's when it becomes thick again. And I'm assuming because I had less eggs, that there were less proteins to reaggregate. So that's why it was more loose this time.